What happens when a ruler, still a child, is shaped by dark forces he does not understand? The story of the Emperor, the young monarch of the empire in Akame Kill, is a tragedy rooted in lost innocence and corrupted power. From the moment he ascended to the throne, the emperor was just a boy, naive and hopeful, but utterly unprepared for the cruel reality of the world around him. His green hair and bright eyes reflected the purity of a heart that desired a bright future for his people. But this hope was soon overshadowed by the presence of Prime Minister Honest. Honest, with his cunning manipulations, saw in the young ruler an opportunity to control the empire according to his own corrupt interests. With touching naivety, the emperor trusted his advisor blindly, believing that all decisions made were for the good of the empire. This blind trust, however, was the key to the tragedy that would unfold. Every cruel decree, every brutal decision, was justified by Honest as being for the greater good, and the young emperor, lacking the wisdom to question, accepted everything without hesitation. Over time, the emperor's perception of morality became distorted. He believed that his actions, no matter how monstrous, were a reflection of his duty as a leader. When he ordered the public execution of a man who opposed his policies, he did so with the conviction that he was fulfilling his role as ruler. However, behind this facade of authority, there was a lost child, unable to comprehend the true weight of his actions. The true extent of Honest's influence over the emperor became clear when he was convinced to unleash the Shikudazer, the imperial family's personal taigu. With this power in his hands, the emperor transformed drastically. The boy who once wanted to help others to the best of his abilities now became cruel, arrogant, and temperamental. His innocence was completely eroded by the power he barely understood, and his subsequent actions displayed a frightening disregard for life, both of his enemies and his own people. The peak of his fall was evident when, in his delusion of power, he unleashed devastating attacks within the capital itself. Although these attacks decimated much of the revolutionary army, they also resulted in massive casualties among his own soldiers and civilians. When he saw his soldiers abandoning the battle to save their own lives, the emperor fell into hysterical denial, unable to accept that his actions were destroying everything he had sworn to protect. But not every tale of downfall is entirely dark. After the empire's defeat and the revelation of Honest's manipulations, the emperor finally understood the error of his ways. He saw how far he had strayed from the path he intended to follow, realizing he had become a pawn in the hands of a man without scruples. Faced with his own execution, he did not succumb to despair. Instead, he displayed unexpected resolve, accepting his fate with a courage that belied his youth. In his final moments, the emperor, even after all that had happened, still showed a deep love for his country. His final request to Najenda, to rebuild the empire and undo all the harm that he and Honest had caused, was a sign that deep down, he had never stopped caring for his people. He accepted his end not with bitterness, but with the hope that something better could emerge from the ashes of his failed reign. The emperor is a tragic reminder of how power, when not guided by wisdom and empathy, can corrupt even the purest of hearts. His story makes us wonder, what would the empire have been like if he had had the chance to rule free from the dark influences that surrounded him from such a young age? Perhaps in a different world, the emperor could have been the leader he always wanted to be. But now, the only question that remains is, what fate awaits those who fall into the traps of power without ever having had the chance to fight against them?